Tonight, we celebrate a legacy of family, community, and values passed from one generation to the next. Barry and Barbara's children share a few words about their parents and the legacy they continue to build.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Congratulations on this honor. It is so well deserved. Judaism was something very important in our household and in our family, and my parents did an incredible job of instilling values, tradition, family, morals, right and wrong, in my siblings and I and in our household in a way that allowed for all of us to find our spirituality and our religion for ourselves, and taking the values that were taught to me at home out into the world and into the community and trying to do good for Jewish people in general.
Many, if not all, of the best experiences I had growing up were Jewish experiences. From Jewish summer camp to my semester abroad in Israel to my Jewish fraternity in college, my parents were always supportive. I'd say one of the biggest things my parents instilled in me from a young age was that being Jewish meant that we were different. The Jewish people have different pasts, a different history, different traditions. It didn't mean that we were any better than anybody else. It just meant that we were a little bit different than those around us. And I've never forgotten that. And that's a lesson I hope to instill in my kids someday.
We always grew up knowing the story of when Mom and Dad, when you guys were gonna get married and start a family, that Mom would need to move to Springfield because of the family business. But the deal was, if Mom moves to Springfield, the kids go to Jewish summer camp. As an adult, when I think about it, it's not just a cute story, it's proof of the active decision making and the active commitments that were made before you even got married and had a family on how to raise us Jewish and how you wanted to raise us Jewish. As Tamir and I start our own little family in just a few weeks, so we're very, very grateful that this was our example, so that we can pass it down to another generation. Thank you, and we love you, and Mazal Tov.
A beautiful legacy, a lasting impact, and values that continue from Dor L'Dor, from generation to generation. Please join us in honoring Barry and Barbara Seidman with the Dor L'Dor Award.
Presented to Barry and Barbara Seidman in grateful recognition of your enduring commitment to Jewish life, your devotion to family, and the legacy of faith and values you have passed from generation to generation. May this tree of life forever symbolize the deep roots you have planted and the many branches of inspiration that continue to flourish throughout your family and community. The Heart of Springfield Gala, Chabad of Springfield, Rosh Chodesh Elul, August 13th.
So it's not fair after watching that video. We were not prepared for that. Thank you so much.
It was beautiful.
And I guess we'll keep our kids too. First of all, I want to thank you and the community for this wonderful honor. We want to congratulate Rabbi Rob and Lauren, who we had never had the pleasure of meeting before tonight, but it's an honor to be able to share this evening with you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do, and most importantly, I discovered tonight that you've actually bought furniture from our store, so that's even more.
Always comes back to business.
That's right.
It?
That's right. And Rabbi Mendy, another thing we've always known, but we saw tonight, is that you and I both married way above ourselves. So
Okay, get back to the script. Ready?
Rabbi Mendy and Sarah, Barbara and I want to thank you for this honor. While we know there are others in our community, including many here tonight, who are equally deserving, we are truly grateful to have been selected to represent this group and receive the Dor L'Dor Award.
With this being an award that celebrates continuity from generation to generation, it is very appropriate and necessary to begin our brief remarks by acknowledging both of our mothers, who we are very fortunate to have with us tonight. Both of us were raised in households that emphasized Jewish life and Jewish living, and as it is with many households, our mothers were and are the backbones that made this happen.
In my own multi-generation family history in Springfield, I vividly remember my grandmother's stories of surviving and escaping the pogroms of Russia and reminding her grandchildren what she endured to remain Jewish. I remember each year around the holidays how she would put $1 in every donation request from every Jewish organization and yeshiva that she received. She didn't even realize that the dollar didn't even pay for the cost of the mailing, but her determination was to help any Jew anywhere. I remember decades ago when my father, a founder and leader of Temple Israel here in Springfield, heard that the other temple in Springfield, because of course every community needs another temple, heard that Temple Brit Sholem was having financial difficulty. My father sent in a significant unsolicited donation. When I questioned him on this, his response was, "Jews help Jews." This is what our previous generations have taught us.
Not only can we look back upon generations previous to our parents who began our family legacy, we are also lucky enough to be able to look at our 3 children, all of whom know who they are and practice Judaism in their own ways, as you saw. God willing, in just another week or so, we will have a new generation who will enable our family's Jewish legacy to continue for many more years to come. And this newest generation of ours will be born in Eretz Yisrael, in the land of Israel.
Rabbi, in some respects, you and we may practice our Judaism differently. But while we may have some differences, we know that our commonalities are much more significant. We all understand the need to work to make our Springfield Jewish community stronger. We also know this cannot be done in a vacuum, but alongside the continual work needed to make Jewish peoplehood stronger. We know you agree that whatever differences we may have, they are minor when compared to these greater goals.
Rabbi Mendy, you and Sarah have shown deep love and compassion for all, regardless of background, knowledge, or interest. You told us once that your life's work is to bring every Jew a little closer to Torah, and you do it every single day. You bring spiritual meaning to everyday lives, often in the most simple of settings. When our daughter Rhea was preparing for marriage, she asked Sarah if she could come to the mikveh. Rhea told us how beautiful and meaningful you made that experience for her. Mendy, when our son Eli relocated to a new city just before Rosh Hashanah last year, you helped him find services he could attend. And when he got to services, he found people there expecting him. These are just small examples of how you work towards your goals of bringing each of us a little closer to Torah.
Rabbi, recently I reminded you of something that I don't think you remembered, but it has always stayed with me. The first time you showed up at our door, before you and Sarah even were married, it was Hanukkah. We invited you in and we sat in our den. At the time, unbeknownst to you, I was struggling with some difficult business decisions. While I hope I was hospitable, it must have been obvious to you that I was distracted. Imagine that. As you were getting ready to depart, you asked if you could leave us with a short teaching. You proceeded to talk about how Hanukkah falls during the darkest month of the year. But even with the darkness outside, the lights of the Hanukkah candles remind us there is always brightness in our lives. You looked towards the pictures of our 3 children hanging on the wall in our den and said, "This is just like remembering that no matter what darkness may be in our personal lives, at any specific moment, we can always look at the photos of our children and see the light shining through."
Rabbi, you, along with your full partner and wife, Sarah, work hard to bring lightness into the lives of many. In 10 years, you have succeeded beyond what any of us, except perhaps you, ever could have imagined. Our community is lucky to have you, and God willing, you and your family and our community and the Jewish people will continue to grow and prosper. Thank you very, very much for this wonderful honor. It's really very special.